各位观众，大家好。谢谢天下杂志以及欧洲商会 ECCT 办理这场2020年永续发展SDGs 的相关的会议。我们都知道，联合国在它的70周年，2015年，它宣布了这17项永续发展的目标，包含了169项的一些次目标。那这不仅揭示了全球希望迈向永续发展的这样的一个大的愿景，它其实不只是公部门来完成这样的目标。从今天上午的这个的论坛，我们可以看到，其实不止在公部门，从中央到地方，还有其实在全球这样的一个尺度，其实企业扮演非常关键的角度。那我想这也是这一场论坛，我们邀请了在欧洲以及台湾在这个议题上顶尖的相关的企业来分享，在过去这5年来，他们怎么在思考或实践这个17项的永续发展目标，怎么把这样一个抽象的17项的目标，从他们的核心本业出发，纳进他们自己的核心职能，甚至展现更丰富以及实现永续台湾或永续世界的一个典范。那我想今天其实时间非常有限，也非常的难得的机会，我们邀请了第一个是我们就邀请了 IKEA 集团总裁林思卓来担任第一场的演讲，也同时邀请了玉山金控总经理黄南洲来担任第2场的演说，也同时邀请了资诚永续李怡化总经理来分享在辅导相关的企业进行永续发展的规划的一些相关的经验。我想透过这3家顶尖企业在这过去5年的实践跟实际的场域的这个经验，我相信可以让台湾在很多的这个企业在未来走向或如何让符合永续发展这些目标能更有清楚的这些愿景跟图像，以及怎么样做的一个路径。接下来我们把时间交给 IKEA 总裁 Martin。
Hello, what a great opportunity to share with you here today, and even only through video, given these so special of times. I'm Martin Lindström, and I'm heading the IKEA business here in Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Indonesia. And I will share a little bit with you on what is our ambition and with sustainability, both from a global perspective, but also locally here in Taiwan. For IKEA, our vision is that we want to make a difference, and in that, how do we be part of creating a better everyday life for the many people? And the IKEA business is consisting of many companies and organizations throughout the world that is all forming the IKEA brand. Today we are in more than 50 markets around the world. We are employing close to 250,000 people, and we are welcoming more than 1 billion people to our stores on an annual basis. Here in Taiwan, we have been for more than 25 years now. We have 6 stores, but also from a sourcing point of view, we have been here for more than 40 years, where the founder of IKEA, Ingvar Kamprad, actually started up here in Taiwan some 45 years ago, starting sourcing from Taiwan to the world. So Taiwan is very much in our heart and feels like home for us. But we also realize that being a big company and a big organization, that we have a responsibility, even an obligation, to take a stand on sustainability and that we are making a difference. From a global perspective, we have decided that our strategy going ahead is formed on 3 roads, on how we can be more accessible, reaching more of the many people, but also on how we can be more affordable and helping and enabling people to make affordable choices in their lives and homes, but also on how we as a company can make a difference from a sustainability point of view. And that sustainability objective is in 2 parts. And we call it being planet positive. And first, that is about how we are becoming a circular business, and in that, becoming climate positive. And secondly, it's about how we are making an impact in a healthy and sustainable living, and making these strategies into real actions. Our ambitions by 2030 is that we want to become climate positive, and we do by regenerating resources whilst we are growing the IKEA business. And we do that by significantly decreasing greenhouse gas emissions in absolute terms throughout the whole IKEA value chain. But we also try to look beyond IKEA and reduce emissions in what is connecting to the value chain by working with suppliers, partners, and stakeholders. And we have decided that we want to try to take a lead, given our size and our impact. The climate footprint this is the climate footprint of IKEA in 2019. From how we are sourcing products, to how we are manufacturing them, to use in people's home. And the extracting and sourcing of raw materials forms the biggest part of the IKEA footprint, of the climate footprint, some 40%. So innovating within these areas, to innovate in these areas, to find opportunities for improving efficiencies in the supply chain, to develop products that are enabling repurpose, to use renewable and recyclable materials is of essence, but also finding solutions for customers to help them to save energy in the homes, maybe even to generate energies in their homes. In 2019, the footprint was at some 25 million CO2, which is representing some 0.1% of the global greenhouse gas emissions. And we want to address this in every single part of the IKEA value chain and find the root causes. And we see that in 2019 is also forming a break in trend, because in 2019 we are actually decreasing our climate footprint whilst we are growing the business. So, which is confirming to us that we are able to make an impact and difference, and that our strategies are working to make a change. And that is possible through a significant increase in renewable energy in our manufacturing stage, but also in a more efficient energy consumption in our product range, such as lighting and appliances. But we realize that we have our work cut out for us, stating out that we want to be climate positive by 2030. But being a climate positive business is also that we want to be a circular business. It's in that that will impact all parts of the IKEA business, from how and where we are meeting customers, how and what products and services we should be developing, how we are sourcing raw material and developing our supply chain. And let me give you a couple of examples. Here is actually a product that we are making in Taiwan. It's a reusable plastic bag. And that is made, which is both renewable and recyclable, made out of sugar cane, at the same time keeping a low price and as well as a good quality. So it's possible to find renewable material that make a change. Another example is a curtain, Ringblomma, also made here in Taiwan. It's a curtain made of recycled PET bottles. 6 bottles makes 1 curtain. And this body you might recognize. It's probably after 30 years in our range, it's probably one of the most hardworking bags in the world, be it for shopping or to laundry or going to the beach. And it's actually having a Taiwan connection now. So we will be using recycled PP bubble tea cups, making bags out of that. So now you don't longer have to be feeling bad conscious of drinking bubble tea, because we can make bags out of them. And these examples are forming a little bit of a glimpse on how we are trying to work differently using renewable or recyclable material, at the same time having a low price, an affordable price, and maintaining a good quality, and enable further recycling or energy efficiency. As part of being a circular business, we also are trying to see how we can provide different services. And here we have another pilot in Taiwan that is, in my view, very interesting, where we are working with Taipei 101, where looking at refurbishment and how can we prolong life of products. So they are leasing products from us, and after the end of the lease term, we will take them back and refurbish them and put them back into the value chain. And I think that is an interesting example that we will learn a lot from on how can we work with refurbishment, prolong life of products, and enable customers to, and able to scale it up. And it also shows that Taiwan is a great place to try and test and experiment these sort of pilots. The second part of the climate positive agenda is on how we can have improve an impact in healthy and sustainable living. And that is about developing products that enable customers to live a more sustainable life. When we are doing our service, we hear that customers are looking for ways on how they can live more sustainable. But we also learn that customers want to consume in a different way, with less waste. We also see that we have an opportunity to impact in the communities that we are operating on, together with our customers and co-workers. But we also see that it's important to go beyond IKEA and look at work and co-create together with social enterprises that is on how we can make a difference. Now, why is that important? Because we at IKEA believe that the home and the way that you live will have a huge impact on the planet and on well-being and on health. Give you a couple of examples on how we are developing products that is helping customers to change behavior. This is 1/10 of the world's water is consumed in people's homes. It's a small gadget, a mistle, which is a nozzle that you put on your existing tap. And by that, you cut water use by 90%. And you still don't notice it when you wash your hands and doing the dishes. And we like these type of products where it helps customers to live in a more sustainable way and help them to. And we will be developing further products that is, and we are developing further products that are helping customers to save energy or to have less waste or preserve water. 9 out of 10 people in the world are living in places where air pollution is exceeding safe limits. So to address pollution and homes, and also doing it in an affordable way, will be key. We have developed the products here called Gundrid, which is an air purifying curtain. It sounds like magic, and it almost is. By applying a thin mineral-based surface treatment to the fabric, it actually enables to cut common known air pollutants in your home. At the same time, you can have a beautiful home. And again, we like these sort of products where we actually can work together with customers to make them change, at the same time having a beautiful home at an affordable price. Health and well-being is also what you put into your stomach. And we realize at IKEA that we are actually one of the world's largest food providers. Every year, we are welcoming more than 700 million people into our restaurants. We want to inspire customers to make healthier choices, and by offering delicious food that has a positive impact on health and on the planet at an affordable price. We are introducing more plant-based food. Last year, we introduced the veggie dog here in Taiwan, selling and performing very well. 1 out of 10 hot dogs is now a veggie dog on us. We are now introducing an alternative to our beloved meatball, being the plant ball, which is made out of peas, oats, and apples. And it's only 4% of the footprint of the traditional meatball. And it absolutely tastes great as well. We believe that people, and all of us, by making active choices in what we eat and on the source of food, we can all contribute to make a change. And we also see the importance to work on those people that are marginalized in the world, the millions of people that are marginalized and living far away from the labor market. We are therefore teaming up with social entrepreneurs that are using business as a way to fight poverty, or to empower women, or to tackle social challenges. And to date, we have collaborated and co-created together with social enterprises in creating some 20,000 works globally with farmers and artisans in making a difference. And we believe in these co-creations beyond the IKEA supply chain to make a difference. And we have a practical example here in Taiwan on our supply side for global IKEA, where we are looking at responsible recruitment, where we want to change the practice, particularly for migrant co-workers, where the practice has been often that they have to pay to get recruited. We want to change that practice where it is employers that should pay for recruitment. And we are working with social enterprises back in home countries for migrant workers, as well as here with suppliers, to make a change on this. And both globally as well as locally, and here's another example in Taipei, where we are working with local NGOs, where we have usable articles, but not sellable, where they are helping us to refurbish and renovate, and then helping, providing them to people in need. And we are trying to work both on this global perspective as local perspective, because and we see to make a difference both globally and locally. And we shouldn't forget about our co-workers and our teams working in companies. To engage them on the agenda is key. And one example, we had the 25th year anniversary here in Taiwan last year, which we turned into a beach cleaning exercise. And these both big-scale and low-scale activities are important to create the change, and particularly to engage co-workers. So I'm happy to be able to share a few snapshots of what we are doing into becoming climate positive, becoming a renewable, circular business, and also what we are doing on health and sustainable living. And we have learned a few things on this one. We are learning about that we cannot do this alone in isolation. We're also learning that, and we are seeing that companies such as us that has a big and huge impact, that we have a responsibility and obligation. And we are determined to be an active driver in this. And here in Taiwan, we also see the opportunities of working actively and together with stakeholders, be it companies, organizations, NGOs, government, to be part of this journey. So thank you for listening to me today. We feel that we have come a bit on the journey, but we have a lot of things to do to become climate positive. But our founder, Ingvar Kamprad, he always said, most things remains to be done. And I think it is a fantastic statement, particularly in these days of working together. We are in a very challenging time right now. But I think if we are working together, we can really say that it will be a glorious future. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you for your very inspiring speech. I especially like what you mentioned, that helping customers to change their behavior for a more sustainable world. So I have one question for you. There's when IKEA developed the sustainable strategy, so many of the goals are linked with IKEA's core competence. So do this goal bring positive feedback to the business?
Yeah, sustainability is embedded in all part of the value chain of IKEA, from the way we are sourcing products to the way we are manufacturing and meeting with the customer. And with the United Nations Sustainability Goals provides a great framework for us on how to set up our agenda. And if I'm taking the examples of developing products that enable people to live a more sustainable life, as we have as one objective, is very linked with the sustainability goal, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals ambitions as well. Because at IKEA, we don't just want to provide good products. We want to provide products that are desirable and affordable. And I think in that is an important part, because we want to break the barrier that customers and people feel that sustainability is not for me. It's too expensive. Because sustainability shouldn't be a reason for being expensive. And we must break that barrier.
So from commitment to actions, so what's the biggest challenge for IKEA? So especially in terms of coordinating external, internal resources, and also supply chain, etc.
Biggest challenge, yeah. I mean, as I heard in that speech, we are very much of a values-based company. So we want to create a better everyday life for the many people. This is our vision, and this is forming every decision what we are doing. And we are constantly trying to improve in what we are doing. But we also see that we have to address the whole value chain and address the root cause at each individual stage. And I think that forms the biggest part of the challenge, because you cannot do it, you cannot only look at parts of the value chain. You need to look at the totality. And you have to find, you cannot do it alone as well. You have to find partnerships, collaborate with suppliers, collaborate with customers in changing behaviors, collaborate with social entrepreneurs beyond the supply chain, being active driver in in working with government also. And I think in that is that challenge that it cannot be simplified. You have to look at the totality.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.